Hi, my name is Newell Davis with Wormiculture, and today we're going to do an update of our worm bin that has compost in it instead of like a true bedding material. So I haven't checked on the bin in a while. I think I've added some coffee grounds, just quickly throwing them in and closed it back up. So we're going to look, see if there's any food left. I think the last time we threw in some apples that had gone bad and were just bruised within days of me buying them. And I have some food ready to go in case it's empty, and let's see how it's doing. Last time before the apples, the worms were trying to escape, and it was there was something really wrong with the bin. So let's take a look and see how it's going. Here we go. We have our worm bin right here. And by the way, for those that don't know, this is the soil stuff that I put in here. It's called Leaf Grow, and it's basically leaf compost and branches. Let's go. First off, a lot of water on the lid here. It's actually kind of too moist, and it's dripping off here. So that's good, but I'd rather it be just moist and not dripping off. Let me see if I can get some more off here before I put this down. So I already see some worms on the top here. Not many though. Here's one of my filters that I threw in with the coffee ground. Some worms in here. Pretty decent size worms actually for red worms. Normally they're a lot smaller in my bins. So let's just kind of poke around in here a second. All right. Let's just see if we have anything on top here. Now these twigs are not really breaking down. With these twigs, they don't look like they're getting consumed in any way. Didn't really expect them to, but I expect them to add maybe some aeration. So let's just kind of dig in here. This is where we had the apples. Oh, we still have apples. As you can see, big chunks of apple too. I mean, this is a big piece right here. Kind of smells a little bit because it's starting to break down, I'm guessing, in the compost here. So a little bit of an odor that doesn't smell great. So more apples, lots of worms though in this area now. So I wonder if they're finally starting to work on them. Maybe they weren't broken down enough because of the skins on them. So like this one right here is just loaded with worms inside the apple. The skins I found do not break down very easily on the apple, so that's not surprising. I know a lot of them are actually coated with wax now, and yeah, so like these right here on the bottom aren't even being touched, it looks like. Lots of worms right here. So lots of worms in this bin still. They're really starting to go after these apples. I might have to spread them out a little bit more. I probably piled them up too much in one area. There's not much. Let's just dig over here real quick. There's still even some worms over in this area too. I mean, like they're all through the bin here. So, which is good. That's a good sign to see them. I mean, let's go to the other side here, which I haven't touched as much. Okay, so this side over here, let's just dig it up. And see, there's some big worms in here. There's lots of worms though. I mean, it's still a good, healthy bin. A little compact at the bottom. It's definitely starting to get too pressed down, but it's not terrible. I mean, I've definitely had bins that are worse. Just tons of worms in this bin. I mean, everything has worms in it. I mean, this is just all worms almost. So it's a very healthy bin still. Not many worms on the top, which means that they're doing very well in the bin. I don't think I need to add any food. I think that's going to be overfeeding them at this point. In fact, I probably should leave the top off for a little bit to maybe try to get some of this moisture out. It's very moist in here. But lots of worms. So I think the bin is doing overall, it's doing very well. I thought the apples would have been broken down by now, I have to admit. I really thought I'd have to add more food and not have, I mean, this is a chunk of apple right here. I mean, that's a pretty big piece. You know, this one's basically just skin. And then we have, ones like this one looks like it has hardly been touched at all. I mean, that's almost as big as my hand. So, it probably would have been better had I broken these down maybe a little bit more before throwing them in, but I didn't want to. I don't take too much time in doing that stuff. I just sort of throw stuff in here and hope it breaks down. So let's just dig this up a little bit. There's even worms over here, which is where I think we had the watermelon last time. So it's still this is very compressed. This is more compressed than I'd really want it to be, although it is flaking apart fairly well. But I mean, like, you can tell, like, this right here is not coming apart when I shake it, which is what I normally like. I like to kind of just disintegrate apart. So overall, it's doing pretty well. It might be a little bit too moist. Throw some of these on top, make sure everything's buried. There's a good amount of worms in here, though. It's a little bit moist, but it's good. I think we're doing pretty well here. I'm just going to scrape off these sides here a little bit. And I might need some larger air holes in this one. This bin has small air holes. This is one of my first bins that I built like this. I just like poked holes in it on the side. I can't even find them. There's some over here, but it probably needs some more air holes in here instead of the little ones that I have here. If I can find them. Here we go. There's one right here, another one right over here. So I might have to drill out some more air holes, or maybe dump this into another bin altogether, so that way they have some more circulation here, so it doesn't get this wet, and hopefully not compressed down as much. So that's it for this video. If you like it, please share and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.